What is going on, guys and girls? I am Ghost Robo, and we've got a real good game of Domination Ground War here on the map Interchange, which I feel is one of the most chaotic maps in all of Modern Warfare 3, but not quite as chaotic as my dreams have been lately. Normally, I'm someone who, sleeps through the whole night and doesn't really dream anything. But, the last couple weeks, I don't know if it's from not getting consistent sleep from all the launches and all the midnight festivities or what, but I have been dreaming a ton. And, of course, I've got those crazy dreams, the ones where it's Michael Bay is inside your brain, explosions and end of the world and zombies, and I can create some pretty epic scenes in my mind. The other day I had a dream of, this entire village made of, these silver stones, and I woke up and I was like, wait, how do I get there? I want to go back to that place. And I always seem to have this, repeating dream that's slightly different, but also very similar, of, driving through this decaying city with buildings collapsing, and there's water everywhere, and trying to figure out a solution. Sometimes there's alien spaceships overhead, sometimes it's more deserted apocalypse, I don't know. But those big dreams are one thing, but to me the ones that are more affecting, or more what is going on here, are the ones that are more mundane. The dreams where my dog is 5 times the size she normally is and I'm throwing her ball in the forest. What is that supposed to mean? Or even more mundane than that, I had a dream the other day that I saw 2 deer, and in the dream I was thinking that I was going to come home and tell my brother, I saw 2 deer. It was like Bambi driving home. And when I woke up the next day, I went to tell my brother that, and then I had this weird moment where I realized that, wait, that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. And I've had a couple of dreams lately like that, where it's this blurring of reality with sleeping, and it's kind of unnerving and unsettling, just because you're whoa, did that happen or did that not happen? And those mundane dreams where they feel so realistic, where it's you're in your house, or you're in your car, or you're driving a route that you normally drive. It's not, the end of the world and you're in some, AAA blockbuster movie or video game. It's you're, in your hallway talking to your brother. When I was younger, I had this consistent repeating dream, and I even have it sometimes this day, where I would be getting Pokemon cards, and I'd be my 8 to 10-year-old self buying a pack of Pokemon cards, and just as I was about to walk out of the store and get ready to open them up, I'd wake up. And then anytime I woke up, I'd reach in my pocket and be where's my Charizard? What is going on? How come things don't transfer from dreams to reality? But those ones where you begin to question whether they happened or not. I mean, every little thing. I had a really realistic dream just the other night where my mom had bought me Mac Miller tickets, and I know my mom would not buy me Mac Miller tickets, and I don't even think Mac Miller's on tour or anything of that sort, but it was just such a weird dream. I don't even want to go see Mac Miller in concert, but it felt so real. And I got up and I was checking my email, where's the confirmation email that I saw in my dream? And it just becomes this weird mix of what is going on. People talk about dreams becoming your reality. No, don't. I just want them to stay separate, and I can know what's going on here. And it's a similar feel when you have those sort of half-conscious, half-asleep dreams. And I sort of have them, I feel mostly in the car. I haven't had one for a while, but when I do, it's in the car. And I don't know if that's because of sort of the external noises that are going on, kind of keeping my senses at an active level or what. But the dreams where you are oh my god, I can't open my eyes, or I want to open my mouth and I cannot talk. It's that half out-of-body, half delirious waking dream where you're awake but you're asleep, and so you don't have full control over your body or your arms, or you're I want to move and I can't, and then it's the most terrifying thing in the world because you feel you're paralyzed, and then you wake up, and half the time when I wake up, similarly, I don't know if it's was I dreaming that I couldn't open my mouth or move my arms, or was it real that I couldn't do that, and it just took place as a sort of subconscious dream. And I don't know, it's just been really kind of strange lately. I've been having so many dreams, and so many of them have been this kind of surreal mundaneness. And I've never been one to have those dreams. I know some people say they have dreams where it's they dreamed their grandmother called, and the next day their grandmother called, or things like that. I mean, I've had dreams with family members, sure, certainly, but never been oh, my mom, called and said blah blah blah, enjoy the cookies, and then the next day she called and said blah blah blah, enjoy the. Never those actually, I kind of want my mom to call and say that. I'd love some cookies right now. I've never had those kind of dreams where they become the truth, but just lately these dreams that are so silly and so basic and mundane, and like legit in the sense that, like, you know, I drove on Tuesday. I drove to get Assassin's Creed Revelations and Saints Row 3 and a couple other games from Walmart at midnight. And on the way home, you know, I'm driving home. It's like 12:20 or whatever. And then that night is the night I had that dream that I saw 2 deer in the woods on the way home from Walmart. And so it was like such a blurring of reality. And I honestly just froze for a second on Tuesday. And I was like, well, did that happen? Did that not happen? What the heck is going on with my mind? And it's kind of, I feel like that fear of not knowing what's real or what's not real, that becomes really kind of not terrifying. Like, it wasn't like I was sitting there crying, but I don't know, like, I'm afraid of centipedes. We have giant centipedes in our basement, my basement, and I record all my videos in my basement. So there'll be times where I'm recording a video and like, oh my god, giant centipede on the wall behind my TV, and it's pretty creepy. Or I've had mice in my basement. Like, that's scary. Or, like, you know, when I was younger and there'd be like tornadoes, that's scary. But the scariest, I think, of all is like the uncertainty, the not knowing, or the potential for what could be there. And it kind of merges a little bit with the dream thing of not knowing if the dream is real or not. In the same way that, you know, the scariest night of my life was I came home. I was probably, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, and my dad was out of town and on a business trip. And it was me and my mom and my 2 younger brothers, who at that time were probably, I don't know, 8 and 1. So really, really young kids. My mom was like tired and stressed. It was late at night and we came home. And there was red stuff splattered all over our kitchen cupboards. And we had white cupboards, so it was like unmistakably red and unmissably disgusting and creepy. And we just all froze. And we're like, we'd been gone for a while. I don't remember if we were out to dinner or out to a friend's or wherever, but we'd been gone for a few hours, so it wasn't like, oh, we were just home 5 seconds ago. And, like, I remember looking at it, and I specifically remember saying, like, to my mom, like, maybe it's strawberries, and, like, I knew it wasn't strawberries. It was like, come on, think of something, because the fear of, like, what is going on was so real at that time. And things got worse from there, because, like, we smelled it, and it was definitely blood. And then we looked and noticed that the basement light was on, and my mom was like, boys, you know, did you guys go downstairs to play after school? And we were like, no. No one had been down in the basement, and the light was on. And, you know, my mom, again, my mom's an amazing person, but she's no, like, warrior. So I'm like, I felt nervous, like, even having my mom go down there. She's like, I'm gonna go check the basement and see what's going on. And I'm like, oh, dear God, this is it. We're about to all get shot with a freaking, I don't know, bazooka. And, my mom went downstairs, and we're like, me and my brother Jake are like holding hands, like, oh God, what is going on? And imagining the worst. And then she came upstairs and turned the lights off. I'm like, nothing down there. And of course, my crazy mind's like, but did you check underneath this, or did you look in the crevice between this and that? And of course, nothing was there. And so we like came upstairs, and like this mystery of who knows what's going on. And you know, it's few minutes later. My dog, who's a miniature poodle, came and was like licking our faces, like, hey, welcome home. And I went to pet her, and I had blood all over my hand, and she had like cut her head outside. I don't know if it was from another dog or a branch or something. She had a little cut in her head, and from shaking, like, to try to, like, you know, rub it or get it off or whatever, she had shaken it all over the kitchen cupboards, which was like creepy, but it was like, it was solved. And so it was a very, very realistic, explainable result from this, like, incredible terror. And the scary part was not what happened, the scary part was what could have happened, or not knowing what was happening. And that's kind of what makes, I feel like, mundane dreams more affecting, not scary, but more affecting than crazy ones. Because you wake up from a dream where it's the apocalypse and aliens have taken over, and, you know, things like that are going on, and you're like, phew, okay, that was a crazy dream, but I know it was a dream. But you wake up and you saw 2 deer, you got a pack of Pokemon cards, and you reach in your pocket, or you go to tell your brother about the deer, and you pause and freeze, and you're like, oh my God, what is going on? I don't know. That was a pretty good game. I'm pretty proud of it. If you like, leave a like. And 36, 11, and 10. Not too bad for Ground War Domination. Top of the leaderboard. All these people using these Xbox buttons for their clan tags. I don't know what that's about. But, hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic day, guys and girls. Let me know what kind of dreams you have, or if you have mundane dreams, or dream of deers, or apocalypses, or dogs bleeding on your cupboards, or what, in the comments below. And until next time, guys and girls, drink some hot chocolate. Have a fantastic weekend. And we will see you all later.